excellent program last night as we celebrated the 100th birthday of HIM, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And I am sitting in for Muta today, keeping your company until 6 o'clock, my people. It's always a privilege and an honor, to sit in. You don't know, say, Muta shoes is a shoes where you can't fill. Keeping your company. Although, Muta now wearing a shoes still. But theme shoes hard to fill. Yeah, but we're there still. And, we're hoping that we are going to have a good vibe this afternoon. It is an action-packed program. Yeah, man, filled with DJ commercials and interviews and discussion and music. Yeah, man, so it's going to be a nice afternoon, as I continue to hold the fort until the great man come back next week still. But it has been a while since I do something like this. So we're there still. So everything is good, we in Kingston. You don't know, so IRFM is have its satellite, A while. So you don't know, so we're up on a satellite station and I do a thing, you understand? Yeah, man. So so much things to talk about. Of course, today we'll be having we'll be having coming up shortly an OB or another link from the Ministry of Health, and that will come up shortly. And of course, after that, today we'll be also having our court feature around 4 o'clock. And also, you don't know, so IRFM celebrating 35 years this year, August 1, and we'll continue to reflect on IRFM's existence from its birth in 1990. And today we'll be having another discussion, this time a man who can tell you so much that went on behind the scenes. You have heard a lot of what happened above the scenes or in the scenes, but behind the scenes. And we'll be speaking with none other than the marketing manager of IRFM, Brian Schmidt. Yeah, man, he will step in the studio and we're going to have a little discussion about the early days of trying to market IRFM. Yeah, man, that is going to be an interesting story. So look forward to that. Yeah, man, so much things in the air swirling about, in terms of topical issues. We know say the election thing is in the air right now, and we say the two major political parties I do them thing, gearing up for election. Many people predict say it will happen in the first week of September. Political parties. Because I do them thing, based on what is happening, it will be 5 years to the date in September, early September. And we are anticipating that election will be at about that time, but we have been hearing some thought that it can go as far as December actually. And it's gonna be an interesting time from here on in. But either way, it will be within the next 6 months. It's gonna be so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But things have been, either way, very, very topical. 6 months. And we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll return and sort out some little technical issues as we dive into what should be a wonderful program here today. We'll return, and then Kerry go bring come some Jamaican, sayings that has been, within our culture, and of course it was brought forward into song by Justin Hines, one of the great singers back in the 1960s for Jamaica. Yeah, man. So. Yeah, man, of course, we started off with Stranger Cole, another big hit from in the 60s, Song with name Rough and Tough. Yeah, man, these songs are in legend. So you don't know, so we have to feature these songs as well on the Stepping Razor, stepping straight into the first break on the program today. And when we come back, we should be heading into another link from the Ministry of Health. So keep it locked right here on IRFM. It's a Stepping Razor with yours truly, Roger Concrete Asphalt, holding the fort for Muta today. And the Master Control, take it away. should be going to the Ministry of Health on another outside link. And Shane, are they ready in terms of having this link up and running? All right, so
ready.
All right. So IRFM now presents another link from the Ministry of Health outside broadcast. Over to you.
All right. Hey, Roger. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. And what are going on with you now?
So we're there, and it's been a good day. It's been a very good day, a good step forward as it relates to the health sector. We're here for the handing over ceremony of some medical equipment, medical imaging equipment. This is a handing over ceremony that took place earlier. We saw the likes of many medical professionals, including Dr. Christopher Tufton, the Minister of Health himself, was actually on location. Now, this is a part of the ongoing efforts to improve primary health care delivery in Jamaica. And it's a major move because Jamaicans overall have always called for this, the improvement in healthcare. So this today was a major move. They actually handed over 20 pieces of critical medical imaging equipment to 5 health centers across the region, the 3 regional health authorities. And these equipment would actually help to make diagnosing persons a lot faster. And this is a major step forward. We have to congratulate the ministry on doing this. So we look forward to, of course, the positive impact that this new equipment will leave and have in our diagnostic services and patient care. So we actually have online with me today. He's a very special gentleman. He's Dr. Irving Mackenzie. He's the Chief Dental Officer at the Ministry of Health. Welcome to the airwaves of IRFM.
Thank you very much. Nice being on IRFM this evening.
It's nice having you. Okay, so the ceremony came and it went. But tell us, will this new equipment fit into the ministry's plans to transform healthcare? And how important and significant are local and international partnerships in making initiatives like this possible?
Okay, so first of all, as we talk about the ministry's plan in terms of healthcare. As you noticed today, we were primarily addressing primary healthcare. And primary healthcare basically is the foundation or bedrock of any good and progressive healthcare system. In primary healthcare, you're looking at about over 300 different health facilities spread out across the length and breadth of Jamaica. And for dentistry, you're talking about 82 health facilities. And today, we find that dentistry got several dental chairs, sophisticated dental chairs, and we'll be getting a number of sophisticated equipment. And we had the handing over today of 3 cone beam CT scan that will significantly improve our diagnostic capabilities. In time past, we had to send our patients to the private sector or elsewhere to get their x-ray done. And when certain procedures had to be done, like certain oral and maxillofacial surgery procedures, or let's say root canal, etc., where you need, let's say, a small area of view, 3D kind of imagery. This did not exist within our purview. We didn't have anything like that in the government. So to us today, this is a great day. It is very, very important, very special to dentistry, because now we'll be able to expand the suite of services that are offered in the primary care setting, and we'll be able to see a lot more patients. Now, on the part of the collaboration, the European Union has really been a significant partner that has helped us to procure these things. They came on board with the government of Jamaica and the Inter-American Development Bank, and that partnership has basically caused a significant revolution in the primary healthcare service.
Indeed. And of course, persons listening in would understand that also I was given the information that everybody was actually trained as relates to the new equipment. So it's not that they're just going to be getting the new equipment and they're just going to go ahead and use it. They've actually been trained to use it. So that would basically put Jamaicans at ease as it relates to the new equipment. So that's a major thing.
That is critical. Yes,
definitely. Is there anything that you'd like to say before you go, Dr. Irvin?
Oh, what I'd like to say is that what is happening in oral health services today is really tremendous. That dentistry is going in the right direction, and from our primary care perspective, we just like all Jamaicans to know that that proper oral health care will be available through the Ministry of Health. It's not going to take away from your favorite private dentist. You understand me? But it is another avenue, especially for those who cannot afford to access care in the private sector, that the public sector will have the capacity to see.
Definitely, and I'm sure everyone is actually appreciative of this initiative. Thank you so much, Dr. Irvin McKenzie, the Chief Dental Officer at the Ministry of Health.
Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. So we're going to be turning things over to you in studio, Roger, because this is the final link here at the Senans Bay Health Center for the handing over ceremony of medical imaging equipment. So I have to shout out my team on location, Mr. Gregory White, and of course, Bigger, my engineers on location, and Roshona Fitzenley and Brian Schmidt, my producers in studio. Of course, this link was brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Health System Strengthening Program, HSSP, transforming healthcare for a better future. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Shanice Williams, with that final link from the Ministry of Health. And of course, I'm certain that, you would have learned much in that link, my listeners. And of course, we're standing by for another break on the Stepping Razor today. And if you just joined us, this is Roger Concrete Asphalt holding the fort for Motor today. Remember that the People's Court feature, that is coming up a little later on. And we will be inviting people to call in with their questions. And today we'll be speaking with attorney at law Richard Goldburn. And we're going to look at the role of an attorney when purchasing a house or property in Jamaica. Make sure you listen out for that, because sometimes we choose to go about the thing in some different way from and in terms of legal, and sometimes you just need to ensure that you do the right thing. So make sure you catch that feature at 4:00. The topic: the role of the attorney when purchasing a house and property in Jamaica. Right, my people. So, all right. So here we know we will be taking a break. And of course, it's a long program going until 6:00, and I keeping your company today with so much things to say and so much things to do. So we're going to take the break, and then we come back. We discuss some more social issues, drop a music or two before the news and sports break, and then we return with much more action. So let's take a break, and we'll be back with much more on the Stepping Razor with Eyes. Yours truly, Roger Concrete Asphalt.
ABC Electrical Sales, total source for...
we are at the end of July. Yesterday was His Majesty's birthday. You don't know, August 1 will be IRFM's birthday, as well as, Emancipation Day. I want to pick up everybody downtown, especially down in the markets. You want to know when IRFM popular? Just go downtown and just go through all in the Coronation. You have some radio, down in a Coronation Market, it not left IRFM, no time, no day, no hour, no minute, I want to big up all of them people there in Coronation Market, if you please, the original name, the real name, but you don't know, we as town people who love the Coronation Market. Yeah, man, big up on yourself downtown and Barry Street and environs and all those, people down in the district area, the commercial district area of Kingston, bless upon yourself. You are the ones who continue to make IRFM number one. We have a short window, and one of the topics that, has been in the radar recent times is the the fact that legislators, they are recommending a total ban on advertising or display of tobacco products. So that means that very soon, people, business operators, shops and supermarkets and wholesalers, they won't be able to display any tobacco products. So like how now you can go in a certain place and you see it on display and you see the different brands, name brand and otherwise. You won't see that again if they push through this legislation. And I don't really have a problem with it. No, what me have a problem with it is I don't think they are enforcing the smoking in public places law. It sometimes, when I say a man can't smoke, and a man, because we don't know everybody go through for them thing. And a man can't have it. But do me a beg, man, stop. You have some people, say they are stadium. And they just come right beside you and drops, light up a spliff, light up a cigarette. And I think the law was put in place to prevent things like these. I don't see no enforcement of that. People will say, boy, this is Jamaica and this is, you relax back and we kind of down to earth. But sometimes I just feel, say, that is one of the law we didn't really enforce. And I don't have anything against anybody who smoke, I mean, you're probably, as a man who used to smoke the ganja myself, long time ago still, you know that. But, oh God, man, go one side, man. If you feel like you want a pull or you want a little, a little whizzy, or you want a little cigarette, forget your meds straight and whatever. I don't think it is necessary for you to just be out in the public, and especially with a large amount of people gathered. You just feel you can just come sit down and light up. It's not everybody will be pleased with that. You understand? You can't go one side and do your thing. That is my view. So the legislators, as I said, they have been pushing forward a recommendation for the total ban on advertising. And we see here where the lawmakers, during the sitting on Tuesday at the Parliament, examining the Tobacco Control Act, accepted a proposal for total ban on promotion and advertising of tobacco products. And this would mean that wholesalers, retailers would not be allowed to display posters of tobacco products or even display them on shelves in cases. Okay, all right, nothing wrong with that. The JSC, chaired by Minister of Health, Dr. Chris Tufton, has been meeting for several years. Its deliberation interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and it held its last meeting last Tuesday. Members agreed to sign and submit a final report to the clerk of the House of Parliament. They acknowledge that it will be the Parliament convened after the upcoming general election again. So a lot of things being put off through the election. I'm going to pick up on this discussion because, we're coming up on news. So let's take this and then we head over to the news and sports department.
Rape charge following an incident in Ferry Hill, Portland 3 months ago. Charged is Junior Simpson, otherwise known as Rasta of the community. Police say at about 5 p.m. on March 24, Simpson entered a woman's house, took $3,000 from his pocket and placed it in her handbag. It's alleged that he then demanded sex from the woman, and when she refused, he sexually assaulted her. Following the ordeal, the woman made a report to the police. An investigation was launched and Simpson was taken into custody on Thursday, July 17. He was charged on Tuesday, July 22. Police say Simpson also gave a confession statement. His court date is being finalized. With the fourth phase of the ban on specific types of single-use plastic products now in effect, manufacturers, distributors, and importers are being urged to offer more environmentally friendly alternatives to consumers. Chief Technical Director of Development Planning, Environment Policy and Management in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Gillian Guthrie, said plastics are non-biodegradable products that can take decades to decompose. She said using more environmentally friendly products will cost a little more upfront, but over the long term, the benefits will be far greater. Ms. Guthrie further encouraged consumers to play their part by urging businesses to stock more sustainable options. In news overseas, Jeffrey Epstein's longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, is meeting U.S. Justice Department officials as pressure grows on the Donald Trump administration to release files linked to the disgraced financier's sex trafficking network. CBS News reports that the meeting will take place in Florida, where Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche had said he planned to speak to Maxwell about any information she had on other people whom Epstein may have helped sexually abuse girls. Maxwell's lawyer reportedly told the BBC that she was looking forward to her meeting, which could help determine whether she will testify before Congress. The latest developments come as interest has switched back to Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker in prison for helping Epstein abuse young girls. Calls have grown from the public, including President Trump's loyal supporters and lawmakers, for the Justice Department to release files related to the Epstein case. Finally, Kenya's police watchdog has accused officers of using disproportionate force to quell a recent series of protests during which 65 people died. In a report released on Thursday, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority linked most of the deaths to actions by the police. It also highlighted the role of opportunists who infiltrated the protests. Over the past 6 weeks, there have been 4 separate days of demonstrations which were called over police brutality and anger at government policies. The report says the first in the capital Nairobi on June 12 was largely peaceful. It followed the death in custody of a young teacher and blogger, which the police initially said was a result of self-inflicted injuries. Since then, 3 police officers have been charged with his murder. Those were the local and international headlines. Major news is next at 5:45. From the IRFM Newsroom, I'm Maisha Brody.
Like public places like stadium as well during that segment. And the topic today is the role of an attorney when purchasing a house or property. And we'll be having a chat with Richard Goldburn, attorney at law and a licensed real estate agent. So this is very informative, and I think we really need to tune in for that, because a lot of people, in terms of property, and they make a lot of mistakes, and there's no law basically for you to have a lawyer, but to be on the safe side all the time, it is better to have some legal representation, and we'll discuss that topic at 4 o'clock. So we're speaking about the whole proposed bill to ban tobacco advertising and promotion and total sponsorship. And we hear from a number of the persons under a comprehensive ban. All advertising, promotion, as well as sponsorship without exception would be banned, according to Kadian Birch, Chief Programs Officer of the Office of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Of course, there were some deliberations from the Minister of Health. It prompted him to question if the ban would extend to cigarette products and sale inside glass displays at outlets such as service stations and so on. He asks, it's really a point of purchase kind of thing, and it really on the box as opposed to anywhere else. And would that be considered a partial ban or a full ban, according to Tufton and his question? And Bird said in a case like that, the display of the tobacco product or relevant product at retail point of sale would be banned. They would be have to keep it away from the public view. And she said the vendor could be allowed to have a list of the tobacco products available for sale, but not have it on public display. Government Senator Caban Gale wanted a distinction to be made between the advertising, promotion, and marketing of the product versus its display. Birch emphasized that a comprehensive ban means there is no display of the product wherever it is being sold. At that point, Tufton stated that in such a scenario, there is less of an incentive to purchase if the product was not on display. Opposition member of the JSC, Dr. Maurice Guy, medical doctor, pointed out that the intent of the committee is a total ban on cigarettes or tobacco use eventually. Wow, that kind of look revolutionary. I don't know how that would work. it's basically supporting the point or the position that we would like to have eventually where there's no use of tobacco or tobacco products. I don't know about that one day. Well, according to Government Senator Sophia Longmore, she's also a medical doctor. She stated that while there could be a constitutional challenge in the event of a total ban becomes law, the recommendation was on sound footing. So let's see how that one pans out in terms of their deliberations, in terms of recommendation on total ban of advertising or display of tobacco products. So we await with bated breath how that one will pan out. All right, so we continue with more music on the Stepping Razor. Farm Prefect. Him call me Crackers. But then again, a man start call me Cocoa Bread. And every now and again, I walk on the road, Cocoa Bread. Yeah, man.
I don't know now. When you have a last name like mine, we can start to guess what the nicknames were. Anyway, leave that alone.
Brian Schmidt is here with us, man, the marketing manager for IRFM. You know what? We'll do a little preamble, because we need to set certain things straight. So, a legendary broadcaster who passed through IRFM, he had this to say recently, and then we're going to kick things off. So he's just using this as a preamble into our discussion about the early days of IRFM. All right, let us hear this legendary broadcaster, what he had to say, and the debates that have been generated over the couple of days since it was made. Look like I'm not hearing it and I don't know why.
Fesco for all your
7.7. Say what? She said, listen, man, don't ask me no question. Go on 107.7. Boom, went on. It was a Saturday morning. Who was on here? Kathy Owen was my sister. You remember? And she was known as KO. She's a knockout.
Yes,
right?
Kathy, yeah. Man.
And then I was like, whoa, this is wicked. So KO go and do her thing. Nice. Then next thing now, hear about wake up call, easy skanking, this, that, whatnot. And I was like, same experience you had. And in those days, I was working at what was the number one ad agency in the country, Young Butler. And let me tell you, you see in the art department, pure Irie running now. And it's like dance inside of the company. And every minute, poor Mr. Butler come in there. We need to do the work. Turn down the music. And as him walk out, we just turn it back up. It was great. So,
Yes.
But what it showed is that Irie was very revolutionary in a lot of ways. In ways that some people don't even really understand now. But certainly the first thing is, historically, the music and the musicians were held back by the media establishment. They weren't getting the kind of play. So it was revolutionary that this station came along and embraced Jamaican music and Jamaicanness. So that was a huge marketing breakthrough. But then when you look on everything about the station, it's an entire exercise in marketing, If you even look on how we did news and sports, remember our news and sports comes on at a particular time. Yeah. Why? Because we break the news before everybody else.
Yes.
We change the format of what news and sports was to a different kind of format. Then when you start looking on the programming, you had things like Memories, you had In the Dancehall, you have Cutting Edge, you have Wake Up Call, you had Musically Speaking, you had Running African. So all of a sudden, you had all these different kind of programs and these different voices that weren't heard on radio before. So what that did now, it just created a whole different idea and concept of what radio is. And remember too, people forget, the number one program from when Irie started was Mix to the Max on a Saturday.
Mix to the Max.
With Gary G, right?
G.
And Mix to the Max was the first juggling program.
Yes.
Right? First juggling program. So there's so many firsts just from a broadcasting point of view that it's amazing. It really is amazing what was done. So when I came into the company a few years later, which was very, very interesting to me because I went to Reggae Bash, loved Reggae Bash. Like I said, I had a friend who worked here. Irie called me up and invited me to join. Met with Carl Young, Chief, the boss. That interview took us about 5 minutes.
Yeah?
And then the remaining hour, the remaining hour, me and Chief chat about girl and fast car and this and that and whatnot.
Straight.
But what I loved right away is that I said, this is a man who is decisive.
Right.
He knows what he wants, and he has a very clear vision and direction where he wanted to go. And so really what I did is I tried to just build on the foundation that was already set. There were certain things that were set. And those were things that I particularly liked because it aligned with a lot of how I think.
Yes.
Because you know me already. I'm allergic to other people's ideas. If somebody has done something, I don't want to do it. No. If everybody is going left, I going right.
Yeah, man, I know that full speed.
Yeah. And that is one of the things that attracted me coming here. And then that became a big part of what we did because IRI was kind of this outsider rebel station. And so corporate Jamaica never really knew how to handle IRI. Now, fortunately for me, at this time when I came in, I had quite a few years in advertising business as advertising manager for courts and so on. So I had a pretty well-established reputation in the advertising and marketing community and business. So that gave me a leg up because all of a sudden here is somebody who actually is in the industry, knows about the industry, now working for IRI. Because the truth is that while some fantastic work was done by everybody at the station prior to then, they were kind of learning on the job.
Yes.
And creating things as they went along, which was actually a strength. It was not a weakness. It was a strength. It was a real strength. Yeah. And like I said, so all I was able to do was just build on it.
Yeah.
The key shot was, how do you build relationships with clients? Right? And how do you get them to trust you? Because you're this kind of outside brand.
Yes.
And so what we did, honestly, is we kind of leaned in a lot into the things that made us different from everybody else.
Yes.
And the client started to buy into that more and more and more and more. And also they were getting the results. Because I can tell you that, trust me, I can tell you.
Getting results because of the popularity.
Because of the popularity of the station.
At the time.
Yeah. I can tell you that.
Early 90s.
Early 90s. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I can tell you, for instance, we got promotions that were being done by other stations. And clients were getting quadruple and 6 times the amount of entries to those promotions when they shifted to IRI. And so the word started to get out. And then what we did is we added a lot of structure and strategy to what we were doing. And just had a completely different approach because our approach has never ever been that, boy, we're here to do some sales. Our approach has always been is that we are an investment advisor to our clients. We are helping our clients invest their hard-earned and hard-fought for advertising and promotional dollar.
All right, we have 7 minutes. So there were so much things I wanted to talk about, but I'm get through. So IRFM being number one, there was a legendary broadcaster who passed through IRFM. We can't call him name, Ran Machette. He was viral recently saying that he was the one who made IRFM number one. No, I know, I know it has generated some serious debate, and I want those to play the cup, but I don't know why it not played. Maybe.
No, man, that's okay.
All right, so
that's okay.
but he took the responsibility of saying he was the one who made IRFM number one.
No, let's just put no.
Yeah, I want you, shed some lights on
that
the situation about IRFM becoming number one.
All right, first, that statement is absolutely incorrect.
Okay,
IRFM was number one before Ron joined, right? And that was as early as 1994, where Marketing Strategies came out with the first survey that said IRI was number one. And then 1995. 30
years ago.
Right.
Okay.
So then the next major research that came out that said that was the All Media survey by Don Anderson, right? Which confirmed that IRI was the leading radio station in the country. And all of this predated Ron coming to the station. So he is incorrect in what he said. I was number one before Ron came here. Now, what Ron can say correctly is that the wake-up call was the number 2 morning program. It was a very, very close number 2 with Dion Mattis behind the Good Morning Man show, with Alan Magnus and Doreen, right? Then what happened is that when Ron came in, remember there was a period where it was Ron and Dion.
Yes.
Right, where they shared different days, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And what happened is that the numbers started to just inch up.
Right.
And then Dion left Jamaica, and then Ron wound up having the show Monday to Friday by himself. And in that period, our morning program then became the number 1 morning program.
Okay, so it's a number 1 morning program.
Yes. Now he can legitimately lay claim that he did a lot of the work that helped to push that program to number 1. But I wouldn't want to do any disservice to Dion, who did all the foundation work before that gave a base, a significant base,
platform
to build on top of.
Yeah.
But to say that he or any one broadcaster made Irie number 1, that would not be true. The only person who could begin to make that claim would be the gentleman we named earlier, Gary G, with Mix to the Max, because Mix to the Max was such a huge program. It was over 1 million listeners, you know.
Yeah. Straight.
Right? Yeah. So the only person who ever had numbers like that before Gary was Barry G, when Barry G was Barry G in the 80s.
Yeah, Barry G.
Right?
Yes, man.
When Barry G was the boogeyman in the 80s.
And I remember also the afternoon program where you started Iron Lion Zion. Every day, because we used to work post office them time, you know, as postman and them thing. Then every postman come off on the road just to go listen Iron Lion, because that was the intro song for Gary G afternoon time, and that was, I tell you, that used to sell out front town.
Right.
What the program the name again?
The Jam.
The Jam.
The Jam. The Jam.
Yeah, man. No, they sell off in the afternoon.
Yeah. And then the thing is, so there's no one person, but I can say that Gary G's program was just so huge, but it was really a combination of the efforts of everybody.
Yeah, combination of 3 minutes. I'm going to see I have a whole heap of points there.
No, it's if you really want to talk about the marketing, advertising, and promotion, and first area. No, it's like you have to give me a full show in a bridge.
I know. No. All right, let me see what I have on the paper, you know. All right, so 3 minutes.
Well, can I give you a joke?
Yes.
The first marketing thing I ever did was Media Expo. As I came here, there was a Media Expo. So I said, okay, boom, we're going to a Media Expo, which was at the Pegasus. Believe you me, you know. 1, Media Expo RAM. Every radio station cost me. When I say get cost out, you know, because the entire Media Expo was centered around Irie's booth, which was just crazy and different.
Yes.
And then next thing, we made the news the next day. Clovis did a cartoon where you see people choked to death coming out of Pegasus from ganja smoke. Because all the people, when they come in and start light up the chalice in the place, you know, hear me to myself now, Roger. Jeez, your crime. I'm in this job for what? Couple of weeks and I lose the work already. Look here, man. When Mr. Young heard what happened, he laugh him, say, yes, man, you know what we did? We kicked some. You know what
he was an unusual man. Unusual, very unusual. Unusual, man. Boy, I tell you, that's what I heard, you know. I'm son bring me come and IRF them, chat. So yeah, man.
But you know, I'd want to say this though. And this is very important. You see, creativity.
Yes.
Creativity is our engine at Irie FM. You see, results, laughter, fun, vibes, that is our oxygen.
Yes.
But you know what is our fuel? Results and relationships. Because without the relationships with the clients and giving them the results, we don't have anything. And that is our fuel, because that's what we're concerned about.
Yes.
It's nice to be number one and all of that. Yeah, great, wonderful. But the greatest feeling in the world, and you talk to any of our sales reps,
Yes.
any of our people in programs and so on, the greatest feeling in the world is when a client comes to you and say, you know something, what you guys did for me, it worked.
Yes.
That's the most important thing, because we're here to serve. We're here to serve our listeners, and we're here to serve our advertisers.
Our clients. Certainly. In wrapping up, in a nutshell, just any additional thing you might want to leave with us.
I think we did revolutionize the industry as the kind of radio station we are, but we revolutionized what radio stations can do. The way we did outside broadcast, completely different. The fact of even having a music machine, starting the reggae machine, before you had the enforcer and shockwave and all that.
Yeah,
we did that. Reggae bash. People don't understand the power of our reggae bash.
Yes.
No artist was signed internationally if you did not perform on reggae bash. If you are not good enough to perform on reggae bash, you are not good to be signed by a label.
Yes.
Right? That's not conjecture. That is fact. So a lot of people don't even understand how big and how powerful and how important IRFM is, not just to media, but to the music industry and to the culture.
The culture, very importantly, the culture.
Yeah.
The culture and the psyche, even the psyche of the nation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But Brian, Jano, there are so much things we can, as I say, if we really should have really sit down and discuss IRFM, it will take a whole program. But sometimes good things comes in small packages, and this is one
That's
of them.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I tell you. But give thanks still. Give thanks, Brian Schmidt, the marketing manager for IRFM. Give us a real synopsis of the real history of IRFM, and especially from marketing the station point of view. So give thanks, Brian, and we'll back up again.
Thanks. Enough respect. I must give one quick shout out, Raj.
Yes.
You see Corinne Stewart?
Corinne.
You see the work that lady did in the early days to set a foundation with clients?
Yes.
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing. Big up, Corinne.
Can't forget that. All right, give thanks, Brian. Marketing manager, IRFM.
The time on IRFM is...
The visit of the King Selassie I thought it was the lawyer is the one doing the protecting, really. To be honest, the lawyer is the one doing the protecting.
Yeah. How can proper legal guidance prevent long-term property disputes?
So, in terms of property disputes, the various disputes can arise because, a property transaction can get litigious. It can get litigious. But I think what would happen is that all sales or all property transactions are guided by a sale agreement. And so having the legal guidance would allow you to be able to, understand your obligations under the agreement, right? And once you understand your obligations under the agreement and you're well advised and you'll be able to fulfill your obligations, then you want as best as possible to avoid and prevent disputes by ensuring that you comply with the terms of the agreement for sale. Yeah. Now, it's unavoidable. Sometimes things go wrong, right? And having an attorney also
most times will.
No, man, I wouldn't say most times, because
I shouldn't say most, but as the oftentimes will.
Yeah, oftentimes, right? Because the truth is that I have more property transactions that go smoothly than get, into a dispute. And it's more likely one and two get into a dispute. Yeah, and having an attorney that is okay with the situations and how to resolve. Sometimes eventually it might end up in court, but you really want to try and avoid that because that is an additional burden to you. Again, more money and time, and a lot of people, they just want to get their property purchased.
True. All right, we are speaking with Richard Goldburn, attorney at law, and we are discussing the role of an attorney when purchasing a house or property in Jamaica. Very important topic. As we say, we have a space for a caller who wants to ask a question of Richard. We're going to take a break in another 2 minutes. So we have another question to get into Richard. What is the attorney's role in a property transaction in Jamaica?
Well, I would have kind of alluded to it earlier, but it's really to protect your interest. There is an administrative role as well, because when you're purchasing property, there's one, the legal document, which is the agreement for sale, which has to be reviewed. I understand it has to be reviewed and ensure that you're well compliant with the terms of it, because if you're not, the transaction may fall through and you may lose money. So that is one. So the agreement for sale. You also have the various reports from professionals. So, for example, if you're relying on mortgage financing, the bank is going to mandate that you do a valuation report. And the attorney has to check that valuation report to ensure that, based off the estimated market value of the property and the loan that you're willing to that you're trying to take, it matches up. And if it doesn't, what are the implications of that? You have the surveyor's report, which, most of the times will identify a breach if there is one. And in the event that there is a breach, the bank also has a problem, giving you the mortgage. So there are different documents. And as I said, there's an administrative role in it, really. But I would say that it's just the overall role is to protect you, but there are different facets to doing that.
Right. All right, as I said, we are speaking with Richard Goldburn. We're going to take a break. He's an attorney at law. We are discussing the topic, the role of an attorney when purchasing a house or property in Jamaica. So this is the Stepping Razor on IRA FM. Roger Haspel here holding the fort for Muta today. And of course, we are going on till 6 o'clock and we take a break. We'll be back with more in the topic, the role of an attorney when purchasing a house property in Jamaica.
The time on IRA.
Does a lawyer really handle?
Okay, so I think the most important one is the title in the event that it is registered property. For the purpose of this conversation, we're going to focus on registered property. So the title, right, most importantly. So I would say in order of priority after the title is when you get to that stage, the agreement for sale, because that really governs how the transaction will go. If it's a cash transaction, if it's a mortgage transaction, the time and all the terms of the transaction. But also, the attorney does due diligence checks to ensure that, there are no encumbrances on the property, there are no caveats which can prevent the registration and the type of caveats. So it's really an exhaustive list of things. But one thing I'd like to say is that no two property transactions are the same, so one property transaction may have specific documents specific to that property that need to be checked or that are relevant, but for another property transaction is not necessarily relevant. But the two important, I would say, is definitely the title and the agreement for sale. And there are other documents that do come into play, like the instrument of transfer, but typically once you have a good attorney, you will break it down and explain what each of the documents really are,
And then how do the attorney ensure that the property has a clean title?
Well, the attorney does ensure that the property has a clean title, because, there are different things that affect titles.
I would think for the purpose of the person who is buying or want the title transfer over to them. I would figure that's how the question will come into.
Right. So I mentioned one earlier, and it was through the caveat searches. So the attorney would do a caveat search to ensure that there are no caveats that would adversely affect the transaction. So really, you have caveats that won't affect the transaction. People always I remember somebody coming to us and say, "Oh, the property have a caveat," and then we'll check it out. Is really a JPS caveat, which is very common and doesn't affect. JPS caveat, which doesn't.
Shane and myself is asking, explain what a caveat is, because we always hear the word and it sounds big.
Oh,
what is a caveat?
It's really just a restriction preventing a particular dealing or transfer of the property. So it's just a restriction, but some of them really have different effects. So, like for example, now a family member, a property is in a dispute, or a property is in dispute and somebody's claiming an interest on the property, and they're saying, no, it shouldn't be sold because, I have X amount of interest in the property. So it prevents, any transfer. There are different types of caveat, but
you'd have to go to court for that.
Well, there are options. Yeah, no, there are options to remove caveats. I don't want to get too much into that, but there are options technical. To address and remove. It's technical. There are options to address and remove caveats. You can warn them, or you can go to court. But typically, you warn the caveat, right? And if the person who lodges the caveat doesn't provide court documents to the registrar within 14 days, and this is just one version of a caveat, and typically it will lapse. So the person who lodges the caveat needs to also go to court and provide, substantive evidence that why this caveat should remain on title.
I see. So at what stage now would, in terms of the buying process, should someone hire an attorney?
Typically, I would say after you've made an offer and it has been accepted. Because the truth is that you can have a consultation before, when you're in the property market, you can have a consultation and speak to an attorney and say, well, this is what I'm intending to do. How do your advisor go about doing it? Right? But in terms of retaining an attorney to represent you on a transaction, usually that can be done after your offer to purchase the property has been accepted.
Right. And in terms of Jamaicans trying to find a qualified real estate attorney in Jamaica, how they can do that?
Well, on the GLC website, right?
The what?
There is
the what?
General Legal Counsel website.
GLC.
The GLC, yeah.
General Legal Counsel. Okay.
There is a database of attorneys that are licensed to practice in Jamaica. However, not all attorneys on that list practice, conveyancing or real estate law. So you can find attorneys there, or you can check if your attorney is licensed there. But really, I would say, in terms of a layman, probably a referral. If you know a family member or a colleague, somebody that has, utilized the services of an attorney before, you can ask them about their experience. Yeah, ask them how their experience was with that attorney. Not to say that you're going to have the same experience, but it's a good starting point. After you get the referral now, you double check and you go on GLC website and you say, oh yes man, okay, he's licensed to practice. And now you can feel a little reassured that you're in good hands. But as I said, you may necessarily not have the same experience that the person who referred you had, Right, but and alternatively, you can come to Goldberg Conveyancing. So
because one man you can have the greatest thing to say about him, and then the next man say, right. So as we wrap up, what should the buyer expect to pay in legal fees during our property purchase?
Well, it ranges. I would say, attorneys, it's a free market, so people are free to negotiate. But I would say you can expect the legal fees to pay anywhere between 1.5 and 3% of the sale price of the property. Okay. But the truth is that, you can negotiate, and that is highly dependent on the price of the property. So, for example, 3% of 100 million and 3% of 10 million is very different. So you can definitely
3% of 100 million is so much.
Off the top of my head, I'm
all right, don't worry.
I don't want to tell you.
Don't worry.
But I just use that very broad example to show that the percentage varies, and because of the purchase price, you're then able to negotiate a little bit better. So the higher the purchase price, I would say, is the smaller the percentage usually.
I see. Any additional thing you want to leave with us?
I would say that, persons that are preparing to go into the property market, they need to be focused, and they need to ensure that, number one, that they're in a position, and I mean a financial position, to take it on. Because the truth is that for a lot of people, and for most people, a property is the most expensive thing they're ever going to buy in their life, And I would advise them to do their homework, such as listening to programs like this with professionals that are going to, help them and give them the information to start on the journey. So you definitely want to put yourself in a position, one, by doing the homework, doing the education, and two, getting yourself in a financial position, because to be honest, it's not cheap and it's not easy. You understand? And that is what I would like to leave with persons.
Boy, I learned a lot today. I want to thank you, Richard Goldburn, attorney at law, as we discussed the role of an attorney when purchasing a house property in Jamaica. And I'm certain a number of listeners would have gotten valuable information. Thanks for joining us today, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Bless up. All right. Richard Goldburn there, attorney at law. All right. So, as we say, we're in the election season, and, you remember first time in the world we used to cuss politician, but you know what? We done cuss them, We not cuss politician again. Yeah, man. Isa Char did tell us already, hear him.
You never know. Every time you cuss politician, never wait to say that I'm grateful.
Boys' names. First one here we have is Jabari. Jabari, this popular African baby name, has a modern sound, though it is actually an ancient Egyptian name. It means famous and brave, or famous or brave, Jabari. So that's a name that, fairly having a modern sound, but it is actually ancient Egyptian Jabari, meaning famous, brave. Kazim. And it has a very cool meaning, controller of anger. It's a name given throughout Africa, but most often used in Nigeria. All right, so we have Dakarai. This three-syllable African boy name lends easily to a host of nicknames, including Daka, Kai, or Rai. The name has Zimbabwean roots and means happiness, Dakarai. All right, Azibo. The Malawian name, meaning earth, also has a youth connotation in Nigeria, meaning this cute baby boy name, an extra special choice, Azibo. All right. Also, let's check some other boys' name. We have Omari in Swahili. This African boy means God the highest, from the Egyptian highborn. Two related meanings worthy of a special little boy. Salim can be spelled S-A-L-I-M or S-A-L-E-E-M. Either spelling is acceptable on this unique African boy name, translating to peaceful and safe in Swahili. And then there is Taj. Taj means exalted in Urdu and also carries the ancient Sanskrit meaning crown. Taj. That's some boy's name, African boy's name. Let us check out some girl's name. Ada. We couldn't choose which one of those gorgeous options to showcase Ada, but Ada is the first daughter. And also there's a derivative of Eva, Adana. Her father's daughter is Swahili. So Ada is the first daughter, and Adana is father's daughter. We have Jamila, with or without the H. And this means beautiful. There is Latrice. And this Tanzanian baby girl means noble woman. Lulu means pearl, and used around the world in various lovely meanings to explore. Mashel, meaning who resembles God. And there is Malaika, one you have likely heard. This popular African girl name belongs to Kardashian, BFF, and meaning queen. Also, let us check out some other African girls' names. Makina, well known around the globe, but its African meaning is happy one. There is Nima, the Swahili meaning born in prosperity. Yeah. There is Tamala. This is a unique African name for girls mean dark tree. For a moody nature name, any little one will grow proudly into. And there is Taylor, with a rhyme more widely used with Kayla. And it translates to she has been seen. Yes, indeed. One of those names might be of your liking, and you can name your son or daughter one of those African names. All right, people. So we're heading up to Crashpot in another 6 minutes or so. And just reminded that this is a Stepping Razor, and if you just joined us, this is Roger Asphalt, Concrete Asphalt, rolling a port promoter today. And for years, I've been searching for this song. I couldn't believe I'm a bucket up the other day. Yeah, man. You don't know, say, it's August 17th, another IRFM flagship event is coming up, Marcus Garvey celebrations, August 17th. Make sure you gear up for that, August 17th. All right? So remember that. But this is a song where is when me a teenager, that was the last time I hear it. I search for it, and it just pop up and I finally find it. Yeah, man. A lot of people in my age group or above my age group will remember this song. It's from the late, great Bagger Brown. And also a part of the track is Tiger and the Jays. And they are singing about Daddy Marcus. Yes, man. Yeah, man, run things. Yeah,
good evening. Simon. What's
Simon, what a go on?
Yes, man. Stepping Razor, that a go on.
Of course.
But me, I listen to teacher already, and like they must say, when I time when Rastafari movements rise up, Marcus, write a letter in my office and send go to the British and say, careful, Don't Empire might look for a big stone and come over there because a movement, a Rastafari people, it kind of come to prominence. So, would I love to see some more of the old, some kind of Rastafari movements come to the fore to same way with the Pan-Africans and the Marcus Garvey. We are doing the thing. We give thanks to the movement. Them.
Of course.
Some of them kind of want some watering, like, we want some time after. Keep there.
Where's that? Keep there?
Yeah, man. So the weather down on your side.
Oh, yeah, man. The weather good, man. The weather good.
The climate change that caused the heat, you feel like a true COVID ready and the world locked down the earth and replenish the way I get the full
because
dose
you know why?
Get.
Because this is traditionally, in terms of you study the season, the science shows this time of the year is usually summer. And I've been to hotter places than Jamaica. Trust me, I've been to places in the world where, I tell you, Jamaica, the hottest Jamaica weather coming like winter. To them weather.
Yeah, but otherwise them weather they would have to be a stand up in a long for you get the full dose. But them weather you know it's piercing in my day.
Man, it not change, man. What would be unusual if and then what you could attribute to climate change is if in December something like this happen. That time of year there. That is when you should be concerned because that would be like a turn back thing, a El Nino kind of thing. You understand? That would be climate change. But the regular season where science over thousands and thousands of years shows the season.
So them extra flooding in them flood time and the extra sun like in a summer nowadays a regular thing them thing.
Just a regular pattern of how the whole system, the earth system set up. But we now dispute in terms of what you talk about, we're man-made issues have affected the weather.
Yeah.
And but in terms of certain things, when it turn back if winter happening in a summer and summer happening in a winter season, that is a problem. That is
true. But then me I pray again. I say whether COVID did have the place under 4-year lockdown. So
no, COVID did have the place and
so
on a COVID did have the place.
Kind of get a time to replenish, you know.
Yeah, on a COVID did have the place under a
reset vibe.
Yeah, governments and people did have the place under lockdown. Yeah.
I'm quick me I run me now, but two little things there. The people them feel it down Palestine. The boy me I want to click them pan and them
rough.
So not go through I know you know here a convoy go through for them.
No, because what is happening now is that Israel look like them just get a free run for flatten Gaza and it's a long time war between the two, but it's like I said, now them get the extra ammunition now for flatten the thing completely. But you still can't destroy the people, You might can't destroy the structures and them thing, but even and you know what gonna happen? What is gonna happen is that a couple years from now, Israel have to go pay Palestine reparation. That's gonna happen. It's only we alone, black people, not get recompense in terms of recommendation.
Man.
But every other races where go through genocides like these, them get them reparation. And it's all going to happen with Palestine. What chance it?
I hope. Because they have the money and waste for all them poor thing and things. Thanks for the time. Hear about it.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, brother. Give thanks. Give thanks. I'm out. Yes, sir. I'm out.
Well, like the man I'm out to build up back the vibes of the 1980s. Bring back certain, That's
you get that feeling that some dividing of the people are going right now. You get that feeling?
Yeah, I get that feeling there because the hungriness, the hungriness to them hungry for power and all them things there. That you can see it. Like one way of power, them no want to let it go.
And the one who out of power do everything if you get back in a power. That's why it goes.
Yeah, but it kind of more show up on the one we have. Yeah, it kind of more show up on the one we have power still. Because like anything with the one where not have power oppose, the one we have power. Remember you don't have power already, The one we have power always a pressure it and I behave like I not see them work.
But if you study the history of Jamaica, no one man stay forever, And I mean the history of Jamaica shows from Henry Morgan days come down during slavery and all them things. There was a time when people just force change. And no matter what, people power and these kind of things. So
change is always good.
Well, it depends because suppose a man don't want to change. Suppose the majority don't want to change, then we can't. But if the majority want to change, the majority just want to change.
Yeah,
you can't go around that. And if the majority don't want to change, you can't go around that either.
So
we have to just wait and see. What the majority of Jamaicans are saying right now, you want change or you don't want change?
That's why I know. Well, we don't want. Yeah. We don't want to. One may have influence, or one may have a way where them smarter than the lower people. I'm not saying lower people. I mean low, insane low. But some people are ignorant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
People who don't really know about politics and know the psychology of it. So I wanna go use them now to really.
It's always something still, It's always something still, but some, but through a lot of new people have taught and learned the politics now, it would have come like it new, but not really new. But give thanks still, yeah?
Yeah, man, bless you.
Bless up yourself. All right, this is a Stepping Razor on IRIA FM. We take a break. We'll be back with much more. We are going on till 6 o'clock. Roger Asphalt here holding the fort for Muta today. Mutabaruka, Concrete Asphalt here saying, peace out, and you don't know, bless up yourselves and other people. Keep it locked right here on the nation's number one IRIA FM. Of course, next week is 35th anniversary, Remember that. All right, so that's about it. We'll close out with the man Eli Hugh Morris. Broken silence as we head towards news and sports. Greetings, and if you just join us, bless up yourselves. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. See? All right.